Here we're given an interesting question. I think this is one of Mr. Wills's favorite questions. Chuck Norris and Mr. T. They live in a building that are 50 meters apart. So let's highlight that or underline it. The angle of depression from Mr. T's balcony, so that's the kind of key word, where Chuck Norris's building meets the ground is 52 degrees. The angle of elevation from Mr. T's balcony to Chuck Norris's balcony is 18 degrees. So let's do that, and also the angle of elevation. Okay, we want to draw, first of all, what this looks like. So I'm going to draw a simplified diagram. Again, you just want to highlight the important pieces, so that'll be my ground. And I will draw a building over here, rectangular block, and another building over here. And because Mr. T is looking up at Chuck Norris in the angle of elevation, obviously Chuck Norris has to be higher than where Mr. T is. So let's say Chuck Norris is going to be over here. We'll put a C there. Mr. T, let's put him over here. I'll put a T there and start drawing in the information I know. Well, first of all, the buildings are 50 meters apart. So this line, okay, from here to here is 50. And that also goes, if you were to look straight across, that line is also 50 because, again, the buildings are uniform, and just think of this as, the same distance all the way up because they're parallel. Okay, great. So I'm going to put 50 meters here. Now I know that if Mr. T looks to the base of the building, down here, that's Chuck Norris's building, the angle of depression is 52 degrees. So from here to here, I have 52 degrees. And if he looks up, let's say from here to here, the angle of elevation is going to be 18 degrees. So there's our diagram. Now it's time to answer some questions. Namely, how high is Chuck Norris's balcony above the ground? So we want to find this height here. Okay, I'm going to do this by, I think, pasting two pieces together, because I've noticed that in here, right, this guy here is a right angle triangle, and this guy here is also a right angle triangle. And if I add, let me do it in black, this side, that part, and this side, this part, together, x plus y, well, that's going to be the height of Chuck Norris's, let's say CN's building. Okay, so let's get to it. And if you haven't noticed already, we do have right angle triangles, and we can probably use SOHCAHTOA here. So what I'm going to do is identify the first one. I think I already did when I highlighted it, but I'm going to draw it outside of here. So let me just shrink things a little bit and draw this triangle. So here we go. So this is like the top one up here. So I'm going to draw it over here. I have 18 in here, and I have 50 over here, and I want to find this value of x. Okay, well, I can just see that this uses SOHCAHTOA because it has a right angle. So I'm going to use opposite and adjacent, which means I use tan. So tan of 18 degrees equals x over 50, or I can just write x equals tan of 18. Let me actually do times 50 in the front, times 50. Okay, and if I do the math, I'll do that later. Let's get the y value. So I'm not going to focus on this triangle, and that looks something like this. Line across, down, and then we have this part here, and I have the y value, and this is going to be 52, and this is 50. And if I write it as, again, I have the opposite and adjacent, and if I write this as tangent, so I'm going to have tan 52 degrees equals y over 50. Or I can write 50 times tan of 52 degrees equals y. and that'll give me the y value. Let me just maybe move this over here, and this, I'll move this up here for now. Okay, we're making progress. Let's do the calculations. So I'm going to pull up my calculator, find the value of x and y, clear this. So the first one I'm going to do is this guy here. So I'm going to do 18 tangent times 50 is 16.2. So the x value is 16.2. And for the y value, that's this guy over here, I'm going to do 50 times 10, 52. So let me clear this, 52 tangent times 50. That gives me 63, let's say 64. So y, do it in black, y equals 64, 64 units. Okay, well, I now have enough information to find the height of my building, because remember it was x plus y, which is this guy over here. So I'm going to do 16.2 plus 64, and that gives me, what does that give me? 70, 80, 80.2 meters. And there you have the height of Chuck Norris's building. Actually, I should be careful. Not the building, but like the question says, his balcony above the ground. Because the building's height is up to here. His balcony is up to here, so it's not the height of the building. Almost, though. Very close in this case.